Welcome back to Cooking with Tammy Live. I'm Tammy, and today I'm going to show you how to make my absolutely delicious corned beef pasta salad. Now I know for most you're like, what? Corned beef who? Who incorporates corned beef with pasta? How crazy, right? Anyway, let me paint a quick picture for you guys. The other night, me and the fam, hungry, couldn't figure it out. Didn't know if we wanted to order out or eat in. So, of course, my husband, he's like, why don't you just make some corned beef? After all, we have a lot of canned goods. So I'm like, okay, you know what? Perfect idea. And in my thoughts, I figured I was going to incorporate it with rice. And he says to me, but you have some leftover pasta in the fridge, because the day before I made mac and cheese, but I made a little bit too much pasta, so I had some left over, and I didn't have enough cheese to incorporate it with. So he's like, why don't you just incorporate the pasta with the corned beef? And I looked at him for a second like, what? That sounds kind of crazy. Anyway, I made the corned beef, incorporated it, and guess what, guys? It was absolutely finger-licking good. It was delicious. Hands down, it was tasty. To the point where I went back for not only seconds, but thirds. It was that good. So anyway, guys, today I'm gonna show you how to make my husband's corned beef and pasta recipe. Yes, guys. So without further ado, let's introduce our ingredients and get started. We have some canned corned beef, of course, as well as some diced onions, minced garlic, brown sugar, as well as some ketchup, some fresh cilantro, as well as fresh green onions. I also have some pasta right here, salt, ground black pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, and smoked paprika. And we have our frying pan, which is hot and ready to go. So what I'm gonna do is I am gonna add some oil to the skillet. Not too much because we're working with beef, and of course beef makes its own oil. And I'm gonna add our diced onions to the mix. Or should I say I'm gonna add my diced onions to the oil. Not the mix just yet, because we're only working with onions. Alrighty, as well as our minced garlic. Incorporate it, give it a good toss and turn. How is everyone doing? I hope you guys are doing great. Alrighty. Next thing, we're gonna add our green onions as well as our cilantro. I'm adding cilantro to the mix because cilantro gives everything a fresh burst. It gives it a great taste. Believe it or not, it makes it taste really fantastic. It just adds a fresh flavor to your food. And that's what I definitely appreciate about fresh cilantro. I always make sure to keep a handful of cilantro in the refrigerator. Every single time I go out to the grocery store, I make sure I pick up some fresh cilantro. We're gonna allow our onions to break down just a bit. This combination right here, it smells so refreshing. And believe it or not, it makes a great base for other dishes as well. Alrighty. Next to the skillet, we're gonna add our star of the show, our corned beef. And we're gonna take our time and break it down. And now that we're almost done, what we're gonna do is we're gonna incorporate it with the onions and the garlic as well as the fresh cilantro. I have to be honest, sometimes the best recipes are recipes that are not planned out, but more so the recipes that you just out of nowhere, boom, you just go into the kitchen and you just make it happen. Sometimes those are the best recipes, to be quite frank. You don't put much thought into it, you just do it. And before you know it, you're licking your fingers and you're like, oh my goodness, why didn't I think about this before? turn the flame up just a bit, allow the corned beef to cook down just a bit more. And the great thing about this recipe is it literally cooks up in a matter of minutes. You could feed your entire family in about, I kid you not, 15 minutes or less. It takes no time at all whatsoever to put together. In my opinion, it cooks faster than you could place the order and have the delivery person drop it off. Much quicker. All right, to this mixture, I'm gonna add a little bit of water. And the water is gonna release all of the bits at the bottom of the pan. And also it's gonna allow my mixture to be perfect. So that way, when it's time for me to incorporate it with the elbow macaroni, it will work out perfectly. Perfect. Alrighty, it's about that time to add some seasonings. We are gonna add just a teeny bit of salt because it's canned corned beef and it's already salt. So just a little bit. We're also going to add our ground black pepper to taste, of course, not too much, as well as the onion powder, and the garlic powder. We're gonna tie in all of those flavors, and our corned beef pasta salad is gonna be absolutely delicious. A little bit of paprika, not too much. And to that mix, I'm also gonna add the ketchup. Add the ketchup, it's gonna give it a nice contrasting flavor. Gonna add that water once more. And to the ketchup, I'm gonna add a little bit of brown sugar, not much. And the brown sugar is gonna cut down that acidity from the tomato, or should I say from the ketchup. And it's not gonna make our corned beef taste sweet or anything. It's gonna be complementary to all of the other flavors that's added. So far, everything is looking perfect. As of this point, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn the flame down just a bit to low heat, and I'm gonna allow the corned beef to simmer because I want all of the flavors to literally marinate into the corned beef and make it nice and flavorful. Our corned beef is looking perfectly ready for us to add our elbow macaroni to the mix. And yep, that's it. And of course, we are going to incorporate our elbow macaroni with the corned beef. And so far, it's coming together really nicely. It looks gorgeous, if I might say so myself. And to be honest with you, not only was this cost efficient, but it definitely stretched the dish out. And my ratio of macaroni to corned beef, as you can see, I could literally add more macaroni if I had to this mixture to stretch it out even more. And like I told my husband, I'm like, you know something? That was definitely a smart idea because it's 5 of us. And like I said, I was able to get seconds and thirds. So it pans out perfectly fine. So if you have a large family, or if you're like myself who just love second and thirds, definitely add a little bit more elbow macaroni. Totally up to you. And stretch it out as much as possible. And you, my friend, will have dinner for you and the fam. Yes, guys. So without further ado, I am going to jump right into my taste test, let you know what I think. So continue watching. It's time for us to taste our delicious corned beef macaroni pasta. I can't wait to dig in. As I told you the other night, it was absolutely delicious. But first, I'm going to add some hot sauce just like I did The hot sauce is definitely complimentary to this dish. It definitely brings back memories from the other night. Absolutely delicious. I gotta be honest with you, who would have thought of adding pasta to corned beef? As far as incorporating it all together, guys, definitely give this recipe a try. Let me know what you think. Big shout out to my husband for creating this recipe. I guess I need to get hungry more often so he could come up with different, different recipes that are like really unique in my opinion. Anyway, guys, as always, full recipe details, Cooking with Tammy's Odd Recipes. Definitely give this recipe a try. Let me know what you think. And until next time, guys, I catch you in the next video. Bye, guys.